Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed and also the practical applications.
Very practically what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are the 8 to 10 up to maybe 20. And that's backed up with we have 18 hours of office hours every week. I'm sitting in my office waiting for students to come in to talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be with the classroom. In
the College of Engineering, we have ABET accreditation for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering. ABET is the top accrediting board for engineering in the United States and probably in the world.
Another thing that is a very different approach at Indiana Tech, I think, that some other universities, is we try and make sure they have a lot of lab experience in the engineering department. All engineering programs are going to have laboratory courses, but in our laboratory courses we try to get them not just exposure to measurements and exposure to some of the devices that you'll be used, but I like to actually assign projects that are, realistic projects.
Those projects, this project-based learning, helps students to work together in a group and be hands-on with their the material or the product that they're creating. Engineering students at Indiana Tech to me, stand out because I know that they've had a lot of experiences working in groups, working on projects, doing lab experiments to help them understand the material, and I think that prepares them well for industry.
First thing I'll tell a high school student is study, study, study. Get all the math you can possibly get. I honestly believe that the critical thinking skills you learn in math courses will help you with engineering courses.
The type of knowledge base that students should have coming in, they need to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. Those two things are really the essence of engineering. Regardless of flavor, they're going to need to figure out, there's a problem here, how do I solve it? And they need to think critically about that. They need to observe, listen to people, and then kick in those problem-solving skills to solve the problem.
Part of the growth of Indiana Tech has involved an increasing number of international students. So I think if we can expose students to different ideas, different cultures, again, it makes them that much more competitive in the marketplace.
In the Fort Wayne area, we have lots of large companies, BAE Systems, Fort Wayne Metals, General Motors, Raytheon, Harris Corporation, and the list goes on. We have a lot of employers that want our engineering students.
Indiana Tech, I think, continues to serve students even beyond their graduation. We really strive to keep in touch with our alumni on a personal level just to see how they're doing, but then also they want to give back to the university because of the experiences they've had here, so they want to provide opportunities for other students here as well.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Schaefer Center. This is the second game of our doubleheader here on Indiana Tech Warrior basketball. The women just won over Aquinas, coming down to the wire 49-46, and now the men take the court as they take on Aquinas in just about 4 minutes is when that game will start. Indiana Tech so far is leading the WAC conference. Their current record against the conference opponents is 3-0. Their overall record 6-1. I say they're leading the WAC conference. Indiana Tech is actually tied with Cornerstone. Both teams are 3-0 in WAC conference play and tied atop the conference standings. Cornerstone will be here next week. They'll play Indiana Tech on Wednesday. That'll be another women's and men's doubleheader. But the first order of business is to go up against the Aquinas Saints. Aquinas is 2-1 by way of their conference record. They're 2-1 at home, 2-0 in true road games. Their only two losses so far have come on neutral courts so far this season. Aquinas, again, has not yet lost a true road game yet this season. 4-3 for their overall record. So this could prove to be quite the challenge for the Indiana Tech Warriors as they're about to take the court here today. This is the second home game of the season for Indiana Tech. Warriors have played 5 true road games, 1 true home game against Siena Heights, and of course a neutral court game against Indiana Wesleyan. Warriors won that 61-59. Most recent game for Indiana Tech was a conference game against Lawrence Tech. They won that one 75-60. But before that, they lost on the road 78-74 just across town. That was against St. Francis over at Hutzel Athletic Center. But before that, on the road against Madonna University, the Warriors had an 84-71 win over Madonna over in Livonia, Michigan. So Indiana Tech looking to get their second conference win of the season. Again, this is part of back-to-back home games. Warriors will not have any games between now and next Wednesday when they take on Cornerstone at 8 p.m. Then they're back on the road for quite a few games, including a trip to Florida, where they'll take on Florida Memorial University in Miami Gardens and then Kaiser University in West Palm Beach. But a 2-game homestand coming up for the Warriors as they take on Aquinas tonight, Cornerstone next week. Of course, Aquinas is the first order of business for the Warriors. Indiana Tech coming off a conference championship. They won the WAC conference last year with an 18-2 conference record, holding off the likes of Aquinas, Lourdes, and Madonna, and Rochester, who had a great home record, 11-3, their home record on the season. Indiana Tech taking on Aquinas in about a minute and a half. We'll be back in just a matter of moments. You're watching Warrior Basketball, brought to you by Summit City Sports.
Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Good luck, Tammy.
See you, David.
Things happen. How do you make the unexpected happen? Take the next step with an online degree from Indiana Tech. Start with a visit to one of our 2 new Chicago area enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette. You'll discover a wide range of affordable undergraduate and graduate degrees with flexible class schedules designed to fit your lifestyle and help you earn a degree sooner than you'd expect. Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
We're just about to have the announcement of the starting lineups. Indiana Tech has 3 players averaging double figures in points per game. Raj Stein is the leading scorer at 13.9. Josh Klein averages 13.0. And Blake Davison, the sophomore out of Leo, is averaging 11.1 points per game. Aquinas also has 3 players averaging double figures. Gabe Overway averaging 12.7. Menelito McGee averaging 11.9, and Donovan Brown Boyd averaging 11.1. Those are the top scorers on the season for both teams, and I think we're about to have the announcement of the starting lineups here in just a second. We did have the national anthem before the first game, and sometimes they do redo the national anthem, other times they don't.
the same
Stepping in at 6'6", a grad student from Kalamazoo, Michigan, number 2, Rod Smith. At guard, 6'1", a graduate student from Southfield, Indiana, number 4, Corey McKinney. And another guard, standing in at 6'1", from nearby Leo, Indiana, number 20, Blake Davison. And at forward, a 6'9", graduate student, wearing number 22, Josh Klein from Monaca, Pennsylvania. The Warriors are coached by Cal, assisted by Jelante Wilson and Keaton Aubrey.
Indiana Tech has not lost a home game this season. Aquinas has not lost a true road game yet this year. Aquinas with a couple of neutral site losses, but no losses in a true road test. Something's got to give tonight. It's going to be Josh Klein to tip it off for Indiana Tech. He'll be going against Gabe Overway. 6'9" Klein versus 6'8" Overway. And Overway, despite the inch less on Klein, he wins the tip. This is Devon Boyd who kicks it to the outside. Back to the top of the key, driving to the basket is Donovan Brown Boyd, and he missed it, and Stein rips away the rebound. He's 6'6", transfer from Lake Superior State and a native of Kalamazoo, Michigan. State of Michigan is fairly well represented tonight by both teams. Aquinas is from Michigan, and most of their players are, you would not be surprised, from Michigan. Indiana Tech has a number of players from Michigan as well. So Aquinas gets the stop here. Here's Boyd Brown with the handoff to Devin Boyd. Stein guarding Brown Boyd, I beg your pardon. This is Jared Dugner, native of Muskegon, Michigan. Brown Boyd with the left hand, he scores. Donovan Brown Boyd, a freshman out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, was part of the Elevation Prep Squad, which is from right here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. McKinney will give that one off to Grant Smith. Little shot fake there by Blake Davison. They try to get it inside to Klein. He has to out-muscle everybody, and cutting to the basket is Grant Smith for the bucket. Tech gets on the board. Smith, the graduate student and Indiana Wesleyan transfer, got to taste a win over IWU earlier this season, a little tournament play that took place at Spring Arbor, also in Michigan. Lob inside, Davison almost stole that, but it's out off of him. He came from behind Overway and almost got the steal. Davison was part of a Leo team that made it to the state championship in Class 3A back in 2021, just a year and a half ago. Lions did, however, lose to Silver Creek. Corner three, Jared Dugner got it. Dugner, the junior out of Muskegon, Michigan. Here's Corey McKinney on the attack. Off of McKinney and out of bounds. Aquinas takes over. I believe that was Dugner who forced the turnover. Handoff there to Devin Boyd. Check that was Menelito McGee. I do believe McGee is one of the top scorers on this Aquinas team. Shot clock down to 9. Driving inside is Brown Boyd, and the jam job by Gabe Overway. Leading scorer for the Saints gets his first points of the game. And it's a 7-2 lead for Aquinas. Here's Rod Stein, scoreless so far, but he's the leading scorer for Indiana Tech. But Grant Smith looking to attack, and he scores on the finger roll. It It is an answer, no doubt about it, for Indiana Tech. But Aquinas has scored on their last 2 possessions. Dugner gives that one off. Dugner's already hit a 3. He'll feed that one to Overway. Brown Boyd able to recover the ball. Shot clock at 7. McGee against the double team from Klein. Down to 2 on the clock. Overway has it blocked by Klein, and that's a shot clock violation. Indiana Tech does indeed get the stop. Ball did not hit the rim there. That's the reason that the shot clock violation was called. Davison comes across the timeline. Stein using the baseline, has it knocked away, able to stay with it though. McKinney will let it fly. In and out. Donovan Brown Boyd rips down the board. McGee is picked up by Davison. Oh, Davison harassing him. McGee goes for the bounce pass. It's a kickball. He threw it right off of Davison's foot. Devin Boyd, the sophomore, to put the ball in play, and he finds Overway. Back to Overway. His jumper is too strong, and Smith is able to grab that board. Smith trying to attack, spinning inside, and he scores. Grant Smith with a little pirouette move. Little shot fake there by Dugner. 3 ball is good. Donovan Brown Boyd. They said Rod Stein. That's number 2 for Indiana Tech, but there is Rod Stein putting it in on the other end. He's the first Warrior besides Grant Smith to find the basket tonight. Baseline drive, Devin Boyd has it poked away. Smith comes up with the ball. Smith on the attack, through traffic. Offensive board, Davison, and he puts it in, and this game is tied. Devin Boyd guarded by McKinney on the other end. He finds Overway. Floater, McGee puts it in, halfway in the air. Lead right back to Aquinas as Davison will run the point for the Warriors. Davison starting as a sophomore, and he can shoot from the outside, but he missed that one. Gabe Overway with the board, and back down the floor comes Devin Boyd. Gets a screen from Overway. Little crossover dribble there by McGee. McGee off the fake, goes outside to Brown Boyd. Shot clock down to 8. That's Overway backing down against Klein. Missed the jumper. Klein able to stay with him the whole way. They zip it inside off the hands of Stein, and he can't run it down. Both teams will get some subs into the game. Peyton Harley is one of the guys who comes in for Aquinas. Steve Helm is one of the guys that comes in for Indiana Tech, along with number 15, Lucas Lehrman. A graduate student, by the way, from Bishop Dwenger. Speaking of Bishop Dwenger, their girls basketball team is in action right now against Blackhawk Christian. Blackhawk Christian leads that one, 33-26. They're in the 4th quarter. I believe our good buddy Ryan Dellinger has the call there. Overway on the outside. Dribbling inside is McGee. Oh, tough shot. McGee puts it down. Menolito McGee with 4 points in the game, and those 2 points did not come easy. Here's Lehrman. Back to Stein, still looking to get it going. McKinney uses the screen from Lehrman. His step back won't fall. Stein poked it out, but the Saints have it. Warriors able to get back in transition. Wide open three, that is good. And that is Andrew Larson, the sophomore off the bench. Here's Corey McKinney, the handoff to Stein. Stein spinning in, tough shot, no. Lehrman had the board. It was ripped away and off of Lehrman before it goes out. Tommy Gregoire comes in along with number 24, Caleb Mitchelson. Those are the subs for Aquinas. Meanwhile, Jeremy Luciani has come in for Indiana Tech, as has Max Perez, a sophomore out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I told you that the state of Michigan was well represented in this game. Perez is an example of that. They get it to Overway. His shot wouldn't fall, and a foul. It's against Aquinas. And they're going to call it on Gabe Overway. That's his first foul of the game on either team. So here's Corey McKinney to bring the ball across the timeline for Tech. Perez fires a three, in and out. He can shoot from outside. That's going to be Tech ball. Last touch by Overway. Look for a second like Ryan Bertoya was about to get a sub in. Bertoya's over there talking to the official. Ball's knocked away. Luciani able to stay with it. His shot won't fall. Barely kept in play. Good hustle there by Bronson Sissom. Little crossover there by Peyton Harley. Gregoire for three, and it wouldn't roll down. Lehrman with the rebound. Here come the Warriors. Perez was thinking about a transition three. That's a foul. Little wraparound from behind. Peyton Harley going to be tagged with that one. That's the second team foul against Aquinas, and Saints will get a sub in. Check that. They just now get Bronson Sissom into the game. Going high to catch it is Luciani. Using the baseline of Steve Helm, but an offensive board. Perez got it on the three ball. A little crossover there by Larson. Larson using the baseline. He goes back outside to Harley. McKinney able to stay with him the whole time. Shot clock's down to 8. Left-handed shot is good. Gabe Overway. Quick down the floor come the Warriors. Back out to McKinney. He wants the screen. He gets the screen from Lehrman, and McKinney's jumper won't fall. Andrew Larson has the rebound. Oh, that was close. That was almost over and back, but it looked like Larson was barely across the timeline, and he'll let it fly. Too strong on the three. Rebound comes to Perez. McKinney fires a three. Short. And a collision down in the paint. They'll play on. Inadvertent contact doesn't appear. Harley over the shoulder to Sissom. Rolls right off. And somehow Perez able to tightrope the baseline. Backing down and putting it home is Lehrman, and a foul. Lucas Lehrman. Foul is called on Andrew Larson. Just heard the officials say he hit him in the head. And we've got a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. We have 3-point play opportunity when we come back on this broadcast of Warrior Basketball.
Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Good luck, Tammy.
See you, David.
Things happen. How do you make the unexpected happen? Take the next step with an online degree from Indiana Tech. Start with a visit to one of our 2 new Chicago area enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette. You'll discover a wide range of affordable undergraduate and graduate degrees with flexible class schedules designed to fit your lifestyle and help you earn a degree sooner than you'd expect. Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech?
Well, just a second ago, Lehrman was able to hit that free throw to complete the 3-point play. By the way, Lehrman just now on the board for the first time as Aquinas leads it by 3. Greg Ware gives the ball up. Saints work it back outside. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Overhanded pass, and they find Larson. Larson, left-handed shot is too strong. And that is Luciani with the rebound for Indiana Tech. This is Steve Helm with the basketball. Plenty of time in the shot clock. Warriors can make this a 1-point game, or they can tie it with a 3. And for a second there, I thought Smith was going to go for the latter. Shot clock down to 8. Steve Helm for 3, and he knocks it down, and we are tied. Back down quickly come the Saints. Warriors able to get back as Peyton Harley couldn't connect on the 3. Backing down is Klein against 2 defenders. Fighting to keep control. A lot of contact, no call. Luciani left it short. And a foul is called, and that's going to go on Luciani in the end. Folks, there was a lot of contact down there. I mean, before the foul was called in the end. But they do call it on Luciani. And it's going to be Aquinas ball, 8:14 to go. Indiana Tech had a chance to take the lead. Would have been their first of the game. Rod Stein back in the game for Indiana Tech. Stein scoreless so far, but we got a lot of basketball left to be played. A great player can get it going at any moment. Stein great at the dribble drive. He can get in the paint and score it on a consistent basis. Peyton Harley, the step back. Yes! Soft touch for Peyton Harley. And the lead right back to Aquinas. Long pass, Perez gathers. Helm fires for the lead. Yes! Steve Helm splashes it down. First lead of the game for Indiana Tech. They get it over to Harley and inside to Overway, and the lead right back to the Saints. Helm perhaps looking to attack here. He tries. Off balance jumper, and Helm drains it. Steve Helm, the Valparaiso transfer. Native of Valparaiso, Indiana, about 2 or 3 hours west of here down Highway 30. Harley was looking to fire a 3, but Steve Helm has back-to-back buckets to give Tech back-to-back leads. 7 on the shot clock. High screen set by Brown Boyd. Long pass over to Greg Ware. Overway got it off, but no good on the shot, and Klein just outfought Perez for that rebound, outfought his own teammate. Helm off the fake. They got Klein posting up down low. And here's Stein posting up on the outside of the block. He finds Klein for the bucket. Great teamwork between the two graduate students. And Tech's got a 3-point lead. Trying to create some space. Greg Ware missed the jumper. Helm gets it and runs. Saints get back defensively. Helm for 3, no good. Credit to Raj Stein for setting that screen, but the possession comes up empty for Tech. Overhand and pass. Harley, long 3, in and out. Raj Stein collects the board. Stein just 2 points so far, so he's not scoreless as we get a timeout called by Ted Albert. He takes his first timeout of the game, and it's a full timeout. We'll be right back in just a moment on this broadcast of Warrior Basketball.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
(26-23), Indiana Tech trailed most of this first half, but recently been able to get it to a 3-point lead, thanks in part to a couple of buckets by Steve Helm. His 3-ball, about midway through this first half, was what gave the Warriors their first lead of the game. It is Indiana Tech ball along the sidelines. Grant Smith to put it in play. He finds Klein. Back to Smith. Smith driving inside, loses the ball. Picked up by Adonis Vachon. He was one of the guys who helped cause that turnover on the double team. Overway out up top of the key. He'll give that one up to Vachon. Back to Overway. Shot clock down to 10. Overway looking to go on Klein. Blocked by Smith. Down to 6. Overway couldn't put it in. New shot clock and Overway scores. Aquinas is within 1. Klein around the screen, gives that one to Brady Titus, and Titus misses the jump shot. That's Titus's first touch of the game. Brown Boyd dishes that one over to Overway. Aquinas trying to make it back-to-back buckets. Boyd around the screen. Overway, the pull-up, yes. And the lead right back to Aquinas. Overway's up to 10 points in this game. They go inside to Klein. Shot fake. This looks a little bit like that pack line defense. Pack line or not, Grant Smith able to knock down the 3-ball. That's his first 3 of the game. Pack line defense is run by Virginia's Tony Bennett. His father, Dick Bennett, I believe was the one who created that style of defense. Dick Bennett coached at, I believe it was Wisconsin-Platteville. It was not the Badgers. For so many years, they were coached by Bo Ryan. Spinning in is McGee, and McGee hands that one off to Overway, and we are tied all over again. Ted Albert livid with the officials. Might have thought that they missed a foul call. Either way, that's 12 points for Overway. We're going to get a foul here against Aquinas. Called on Menelito McGee. Lucas Lehrman back in for the Warriors. Again, Lehrman, a graduate of Bishop Dwenger. He's a graduate student here at Indiana Tech. The Bishop Dwenger girls team was in action moments ago. That game did go final. We'll get to the final score in a matter of moments. Lehrman spitting in. They're going to say off of Aquinas. Shot clock does not reset. It's down to 7. Davison able to get it in to the corner. And Davison was fouled on the shot. He'll be going to the free throw line. Davison able to connect. And well, shout out to Wayne Sidney Gorman. She had, I believe it was 6 threes last night in Wayne's win over Canterbury. Sounds like she finished with 18 points tonight as Davison goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. By the way, Davison's alma mater, the Leo Lions, have their boys basketball opener tomorrow night against Concordia as Devin Boyd dishes that one off to Donovan Brown Boyd. And Brown Boyd is fouled by Raj Stein. Indiana Tech with the lead, but Aquinas has not made things easy for him tonight. Well, fake there by Jared Dugner. Brown Boyd with a shot clock at 5. Pull up 3 at the timer, no good. Rebound comes right to Brown Boyd. He gets another one and gets fouled. Donovan Brown Boyd, the freshman, doing some work on that offensive glass. And he'll get himself a trip to the line. Brown Boyd able to connect on that first one as Grant Smith is back in for Tech. I've got Donovan Brown Boyd for 6 points in this game. Too strong on the second one, and the rebound eventually ripped away by Adonis Vachon, and the elongated possession continues for Aquinas. Overway sets the screen. Vachon down the baseline. Off the glass, wouldn't fall, and Lehrman's got the board. Inside 2 minutes to play in this first half as Smith gets a screen from Lehrman. As again, the Saints crowd the lane as the official actually got hit by that pass before it went out of bounds. This does look a lot like the pack line defense. And pack line defense, you often see guys crowding the lane, try to make it difficult for opposing teams to use dribble penetration. That's a bad pass, miscommunication. Well, I take it back. I'm not sure the pass was bad. The communication was bad. And that leads to the Aquinas turnover. McKinney racing across the timeline. Finds Stein on the baseline. He's fouled on the way up. Trying to drive through that Red Sea, and Stein will go to the line for two. The foul is called on Adonis Vachon. Could not hit the free throw. Oh for 2 on that one. Out of bounds, they're saying last touch by Lehrman. Coming up on a minute to play in this first half. That's poked from behind by Davison, but recovered by Vachon. Boyd, pull-up jumper, too strong. Right to Davison. He zips it to McKinney. The lob inside, and the basket is good. Grant Smith, and he rips away the ball on the inbound. Stein to the corner. Davison for 3. No, in and out. Rebound comes to Overway. Grant Smith up to 11 points, and with that steal, he almost made it a 4-point possession. Boyd drove to the basket, but a moving screen was called. Gabe Overway called for the foul. That's Overway's second foul of the game, and into the game comes Bronson Sissom, junior out of Eaton Rapids, Michigan. Indiana Tech can hold for the final shot of the first half. Shot clock is now a non-factor. And it looks like McKinney's playing this thing out, but he's down to 7 seconds. Here's Davison. Smith got to get it off. Step back 3, in and out. Lehrman almost tipped it in. He might have touched the ball as soon as the buzzer went off, but it's a miss in the end, but it is a lead for Indiana Tech, 33-30 at the half. Warriors were down for most of the first half, but they close out the first half up by 3. Back in a moment on this broadcast of Warrior basketball.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, Warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
You're busy. You expect to say no sometimes. But what you didn't expect was a chance to say yes to a college degree while keeping your life. Indiana Tech is now offering Chicago area students undergraduate and graduate degree opportunities taught online by experienced faculty who care. Learn more at one of the new Indiana Tech enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette.
I can turn this in early? Sure, whenever you're ready.
Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that there aren't very many energy programs out there. When I researched all of the various programs recently, there are really only 2 or 3 accredited engineering programs.
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada originally. I came out here to Indiana Tech to actually go for the energy engineering program because of its uniqueness and its ability to get hands-on with the materials that I'm going to be using in the future.
Well, a few of the things I think that sets Indiana Tech apart is, number one, you have very small classes. You have very close relationships with your professors. When you have a class of 10 people, it's much easier to get to know the professor and get in contact with him than if you have a class of 30, 40, or 50. You're going to have the same professors for the majority of your classes. You're going to have the same classmates for the majority of your classes.
The more practical applications come in all the subsequent energy engineering classes. Heat transfers in a class that right after they're leaving the classroom, and the board is filled with calculus. So in order to understand a lot of these topics, they're going to need to understand the calculus there. Calculus is the study of the rate of change, how fast things change, and depending upon whether it's energy engineering, industrial engineering, or whatever, they're going to need to use that and apply that.
Professor Romary, he stands out to me the most right now because when I first got here, I had to take calculus, Calc 1, Calc 2, and he's one of the professors that teaches it, and he was a very kind and helpful guy, and he did whatever he could to help us out. He was very funny, always had a way of creatively teaching calculus to us that not a whole lot of people can do. And I think that and how he did it is going to be something that's going to stick for me for a very long time.
The field work that Indiana Tech can provide here is, for example, we have a 10 kilowatt windmill that the students can work with. We have a geothermal system for a couple of the buildings for Utangsu and for Zollner that uses geothermal principles to heat and cool the buildings in the summer and the winter.
The PV array system, training system that we have down here in the basement allows us to wire up the panels we have down in the basement to set it up as a off-the-grid system or a battery bank system, which helps us because we can see every component of the system actually intertwining and how they work together, which is something that may not be easily visible when you're on the job site in a career. So definitely my internship at SuperValue Incorporated was a very, very beneficial program for me to be in. It was more based on the process and logistical side of engineering of my degree, not necessarily the design aspect. It helped me really learn how the most efficient way to do a task and some of the boundaries that come with trying to make things more efficient.
One of the things that we've been very fortunate here at Indiana Tech is that we've had a grant through AEP to help subsidize our students in taking some of the various trips in spring break. Over the last 4 years, I have taken, along with a couple of other chaperones, I've taken almost a couple of dozen students to a trip to Germany and Switzerland that focused on renewable energy. We've gone to Iceland last year, focusing on geothermal energy, and we just recently returned from a trip to Costa Rica.
Just last year, I went to Iceland with a couple of our peers, not even just energy engineers, but a couple of other engineering majors went along with us. And for me, that was the highlight of my college time. I mean, we learned a lot about like geothermal systems and how they converted to a country of basically like ran just by geothermal. But it wasn't just learning about that, it was also learning about their culture as well, you know, and the past and the history and where they plan to go in their future. And all those things combined, I think, really kind of defines my experience here in Indiana Tech.
You can be the smartest engineer in the world, but if you cannot talk to or work with other engineers and non-engineers, it's very hard to get anything done. I try to teach my students that while you may not like writing, it's going to be a part of the job. You have to communicate. If you're doing experiments or testing hardware in the lab, you need to write it up so that other people know what you did, and the customer may want to know what are the results of that test.
Something I would remember most about the faculty would be just the one-on-one aspect of it and how open they are to hearing your problems and concerns and willing to assist you. Indiana Tech, with the class sizes being so small, you really get that one-on-one talking, everyday type relationship with your advisors and your professors. And having that is key to success, I feel, because being able to communicate with them and actually get your problems and questions across is going to help clarify things for you while you're in classes in school, which is going to set you up for success.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes. You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
A lead of 35-30 at halftime for Indiana Tech over Aquinas. Warriors trying to go to 4-0 in conference play. Aquinas not making it easy on them tonight. Aquinas has used a lot of packline beg your pardon there, folks. Packline defense seems to be what Aquinas has been using. They've been crowding the paint, which is what the packline defense often does. It's a style of defense often run by Virginia's Tony Bennett. I believe it was patented by his father, Dick Bennett, former head coach in the state of Wisconsin. Was not a head coach for the Wisconsin Badgers, mind you. But anyway, Aquinas has used a lot of that defense and made things difficult on Indiana Tech early. However, the Warriors were able to bear down and eventually take the lead on a three ball by Steve Helm. He actually had back-to-back buckets for the Warriors. The second one of those was also a go-ahead bucket. We got the first half statistics for you as well. Gabe Overway is Aquinas' leading scorer. He's got 10 points. Donovan Brown Boyd is the second leading scorer for this game. He's got 6. Andrew Larson has 5 off the bench. Menelito McGee has 4. And Jared Dugner has 3. For Indiana Tech, their leading scorer is Grant Smith. He's got 11 points. Steve Helm came off the bench and he scored 8. Blake Davison has 4 points. Lucas Lehrman and Max Perez each have 3 off the bench. Josh Klein has 2. Raj Stein has 2. Bit of a surprise to see those two scoring so low. Those two average over 13 points per game apiece. And yet they've each got 2 here in this first half. But second half's coming up in a matter of moments, and good players can turn it on at any moment. About 3.5 minutes to go till the second half starts. Tech leads Aquinas 33-30 on this broadcast of Warrior Basketball.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
Almost time for the second half. Indiana Tech with a lead over Aquinas, but the Saints got off to a lead early in the ball game and have played a lot of great defense. A pack line defense seems to be what they're using. Pack line defense often crowds the lane, and that's exactly what Aquinas has been doing so far tonight. For a good chunk of this game, for Indiana Tech, it's mostly man-to-man defense, and they've been able to hold Aquinas to just these 30 points so far. By the way, I mentioned that Bishop Dwenger, the alma mater for Lucas Lehrman, was in action tonight against Blackhawk Christian. Dwenger loses 36-26. That's girls basketball, by the way. I don't think Dwenger has opened its boys basketball season yet. I know Blackhawk Christian hasn't, and they won't until next week. A couple of home games against Northside and New Haven. Corey McKinney off the inbound, and this looks more like a 2-3 zone. Kick to the corner, a little shot fake, and Smith with the left hand, too strong. Battle for the rebound, and a foul is called on the floor. Jared Dugner called for the foul. That's his first. They zip it into Stein. He zips it into Klein, and Klein scores. That was two hard-fired passes at cannon rate. They give to McGee. He'll fire a three, and he hits it. And folks, I'm not trying to rhyme here. I'm not trying to pull my own Dr. Seuss. Sometimes you just can't help it. There's Klein posting up. Actually, he's away from the block. He catches the pass, finds Smith. And Smith gets fouled on the interior. Donovan Brown Boyd called for that foul, and Grant Smith will go to the line. And he's able to cash in the first one. Second one rattles out. Overway trying to hand it off to McGee. He finally does. Overway missed the shot, and it's Smith who just barely keeps it in play. Smith racing down the floor, lightning speed, but he missed the shot. Falling down is McKinney. He's back up. Ball is poked out. Dugner down the baseline, and a foul. They're going to call it on Josh Klein, and that'll send Jared Dugner to the free throw line for Aquinas. 18:21 to go. He's able to get that first one. Missed the free throw. Smith's there for the board. Smith will slow it down. He finds Stein. Stein into the lane with the left hand. Yes. Soft touch for Raj Stein. That's only his second made bucket from the field tonight. McGee with the left hand. Yes. McGee somehow able to get that shot to fall, and here come the Warriors up by 2. Smith the leading scorer for this game. This is McKinney who finds Davison. McKinney on the drive. Hanging in the air, count it, and a foul. Corey McKinney, the graduate student from South Bend. And he's able to give Tech a 4-point lead. Have a chance to give him more at the free throw line as Peyton Harley comes into the game. He missed the shot, and it's Dugner who's got the board. The lob down the floor over the reach of Stein. Out of bounds, off of Aquinas. Touch last apparently by Brown Boyd. Klein sets the screen for McKinney. Davison attacks, has it knocked away. Harley with the takeaway. Here's Brown Boyd to the basket. He scores. Brown Boyd running like a Harley Davidson. Stein over to Smith. Smith trips, and a foul is called. It's the second foul on Donovan Brown Boyd, and Indiana Tech keeps the ball with 16:52 to go in this second period. High lob, Stein's got it. He slows it down. Klein away from the block, finds Smith. His three is good. Grant Smith, a little flex of the muscle at the end of that. $15 points for Smith in this one. He leads all Warrior scorers. Screen set by Overway. Back out to Harley. Corey McKinney picks him up. 9 on the timer. Harley on the drive. Larson for 3. It's short. And McKinney's got the board. Just slips it off to Helm, and Stein comes open, has it blocked. Wasn't open for long. Gabe Overway says not today. Harley gets fouled. That's Helm from behind. Before the shot, that basket will not count. Overway away from the bucket. Shot clock down to 9. Turnaround shot. Overway puts it home. Gabe Overway up to 14 points. He leads all Aquinas scorers. Helm using the baseline. Into the paint. Back outside to Raj Stein. Grant Smith around the screen. Trying to drive through the Red Sea, and it would not open up for him. Foul called on Tech. Grant Smith called for the foul. Rod Stein going to help bring a trap. Aquinas gets the ball across the timeline, and Harley wisely waiting for Caleb Mitchelson to get across the timeline there. Harley stumbled, luckily he's back on his feet. The shot clock's down to 7. Larson through the lane, has it tipped. Smith couldn't save it. He stepped out of bounds. Shot clock did not reset, and Smith went all the way to that carpeting over there in front of the exit. Luckily, he's able to get back up, and I believe he's still in the game. Only 2 seconds on the shot clock, though. Harley firing a long one. No, too strong. He almost had it. Helm across the timeline, finds Stein. He attacks. Dishes to Helm. No good. Stein collects. His shot blocked. Smith contested, but he puts it in. He took a tumble a moment ago, but that's no trouble at all for Smith. "17 points for Grant Smith, and a foul called. Looks to be against the Warriors as Helm was ready to run the other way. I think they got Corey McKinney for that foul. Max Perez into the game for the Warriors. Inbound goes to Andrew Larson. Try to dish it inside to Overway, and a foul is called. That's going to be on Lehrman. Or is it? They're saying the ball's out of bounds and it belongs to Tech. The ball actually went to that little hallway area, actually went behind the stairs that lead up here to where we're sitting. Actually, we're not sitting, we're standing. Double team comes, they find Helm. Stein, the lob. Lehrman, the one-handed jam. Welcome to the jam, Lucas Lehrman. Here's Larson, gives that one up to Harley. Posting up down low is Overway. Harley draws a crowd. That was right behind Perez. He almost had a steal. Shot clock down to 4, down to 3. Harley flips it up, and that's a shot clock violation. The defense for Tech stifling the Saints. They almost forced a shot clock violation last time around. This time around, they get one. Here's Stein. Into the paint, ripped away. That was Larson who caused the steal, but an errant throw. And McKinney tracks it down. McKinney racing down the floor. Perez steps inside. They got Lehrman down low. He had that big jam moments ago. Lehrman trying to keep control. He finds McKinney. Check that. That was Helm. Now it's McKinney. Shot clock down to 8. And that's stolen away by Overway. And now the Saints defense trying to respond. They did respond, and now can they respond on the offensive end? McGee past the screen. Helm with him. Out to Larson. Into the paint. Gets it to fall. Andrew Larson. 5 points off the bench for him. Little crossover there. McKinney. No shot. The basket goes, but it's not going to count. Did the official just change the signal? Apparently not. Foul is called on, I believe, Dugner. Thought at first the official said 14, but number 14 is Fernando Alvarez May, and he's not available, and it looks like it is 15, Jared Dugner. Long inbound to Stein. He fires into Helm. Helm finds Lehrman, and Lehrman puts it in. Lucas Lehrman, I believe, has the 2 most recent buckets for Indiana Tech so far in this one. Back outside to Caleb Mitchelson. Hangs in the air and throws it away. Perez comes up with it. Lehrman again. Jump hook, too strong. Lehrman was starting to feel it. And here's Mitchelson across the timeline. Mitchelson, the drive. Little slip pass. Count it, and a foul. Brown Boyd. For a second there, I thought he had a hitch in his step. But he's going to the free throw line, and that's Devin Boyd coming into the game. Fake pass there by Helm. Lobs it down the floor, Perez. Brady Titus gives that one back to Stein. Stein with a spin move. Had the help side defense on him, and Stein gets himself to the line. Foul is called on Donovan Brown Boyd. And Raj Stein will go to the stripe. He's 0 for 2 from there so far. Just 1 trip to the line already. But Raj sinks that one. Two for 2 goes Stein. 6-point lead for Indiana Tech. Here's Devin Boyd. Brown Boyd just barely able to recover that one. Overway one-on-one with Lehrman. Throws it off his knees. That's a live ball. Titus outrunning the pack. Missed the shot. Back down the floor comes Devin Boyd. Vachon for 3, and it's good. Adonis Vachon, his first points of the game, and we might have a foul. This is an official's timeout. They're just letting guys sub in. Perez along the baseline. Will they trap? Yes, they will, but the Tech Warriors beat it. Titus off the shot fake. Aquinas sets up and initially looked like a 2-3 zone. Stein falling away, missed the shot. One-handed rebound by Lehrman, and he gets fouled. Lucas Lehrman battling down low. Adonis Vachon called for that foul. As Lehrman's able to hit that free throw. First of a 1-and-1 here for Lehrman. Second one wouldn't fall. We've got a foul away from the ball, and it looks like it's going on Tech. It's called a blocking foul. It's on Aquinas. It's going to send Rod Stein to the line. Donovan Brown-Boyd called for that one. Another 1-and-1 coming up. Stein's able to cash in on the first one. Into the game comes Andrew Larson. Two for two goes Stein. That gives Stein 8 points for the game and a 6-point lead for Tech as Boyd tries to get around the screen. Overway, 1-on-1 with Lehrman. Vachon with the 7 on the shot clock. Shot gets blocked. Battle for the loose ball. Call is a jump ball, and the possession arrow will favor Aquinas. Timeout taken by Aquinas. We'll be right back in just a moment on this broadcast of Warrior Basketball.
Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, Warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
Vachon looking to put the ball in play. Check that. That's Vachon off the inbound. He missed the three. It's out of bounds to the Warriors. Titus double teamed. Check that. That was Perez. This is Titus. He gets across the timeline and finds Josh Klein. Pull-up jumper. Titus short. Klein has it blocked. Last touch by Overway. Tech keeps the ball. Menelito McGee into the game for Aquinas. Backing down is Stein. makes a move and scores. Well, shot fake by McGee. Gives that one up to Overway. Larson driving inside. He's got Stein guarding him. Back outside to McGee. McGee flips it up. No good. Klein comes down with the board. Here comes Davison attacking through the Red Sea, and it opens up for him. Davison finds drier ground. Over to Larson, looking to drive against Stein, into the paint. Overweight, the jumper, rolls it home. Full court pressure put on by Aquinas. Warriors beat it. Stein racing down the floor, beats everybody. Aquinas puts on the press, and Tech gets the transition game going. They've scored in transition the last 2 times down the floor. Overway finds Boyd. Boyd trying to slip it through defenders. Stein with an emphatic shot, but he knocked it out of bounds. He just swatted that thing with authority. And Grant Smith is into the game. McGee, guarded by Davison, stolen away. Smith jumps the pass. Stein was thinking about a 3. He hasn't shot one of those today. Now Davison's going to fire a 3, and he hits it. Blake Davison, the Leo sophomore, connecting from downtown. That's his first tray of the game. Boyd throws it away. McGee tried to save it, and a timeout. This will be a full timeout. Well, the last 2 buckets that Indiana Tech was able to come up with were both in transition. We'll show you the most recent one. They get the stop as Overway's able to knock down the jump. They don't get the stop, I beg your pardon, but Aquinas puts on some full court pressure, and Indiana Tech's able to beat it. Raj Stein says, I got this. I'll take it down Broadway. And he did that just like that to make it 63-50 in favor of Indiana Tech. It was a close game in the first half. Tech led by 3 at the end of the first half. But all of a sudden, they have started to pull away from Aquinas. They have adjusted to their zone defense, pack line defense they were using early on. It's been more zone from Aquinas here in the second half, though. This 13-point lead for Tech is the largest lead they've had tonight. By the way, that replay, as well as all other replays, brought to you by Summit City Sports. 6:52 to go. As Tech is looking to go to 4-0 in conference play. Came into today tied with Cornerstone as far as conference record is concerned. Both came in at 3-0 in conference play. Indiana Tech is 6-1 overall. Cornerstone is 5-1 overall. And Tech will host Cornerstone next week. That'll be on Wednesday night, but they got to finish business against Aquinas here in the second half. There's still 6:52 to go. McKinney will hand that one off to Smith. Davison finds Klein. Stein with a zip pass over to Smith. Smith shot it right over his own teammate, Klein, and there's Klein to put it back. and Klein gets fouled in the process.
Klein with the basket and the foul.
6:31 to go, and Josh Klein at the free throw line. I believe that gives him 6 points for this game, and Klein will now make it 7 with that free throw. Racing down the floor is Peyton Harley. Get it back outside to him. High screen set by Overway. Harley trips, and he's fouled. McKinney going to be called for that one. It's a non-shooting foul, 6-team foul against Tech. Next one would put the Saints at the free throw line as McGee looks to drive on Davison. Shot right over him, but he missed. But Davison knocked it out. Donovan Brown Boyd back into the game for the Saints. High lob, and Harley rises up to grab it. Harley around the screen from Overway. Through the paint, he zips it out. McGee has it blocked by Davison. And here come the Warriors. It's Smith on the attack. Couldn't put it in. Foul is called. Oh, wait a second. Basket interference, I think, might be the call. Looked like that ball was rolling off the rim. It's not basket interference. It's a foul against Aquinas. Devin Boyd is called for the foul. I think they were right not to call basket interference as that ball was rolling right off the rim. I'll send Grant Smith to the free throw line. Smith able to cash in on the first try. Smith having a great performance. He's up to 18 points. Graduate student out of Connorsville, Indiana. Warriors continue to push the pedal down. Smith goes 2 for 2. Overway. He wanted to zip it inside. Miscommunication, and that goes out of bounds behind McGee. Blake Davison inbounded that from right in front of the Aquinas bench. Here is Davison. He'll hand it off to Smith. Smith finds Klein on the inside. One-on-one, Klein backing down. Out to Smith. Catches it again. Smith slashing in and scores. Stop him if you can. Smith's up to 21 points. Donovan Brown Boyd for 3, no good. Chased down by Menelito McGee, I beg your pardon. A little tongue-tied on that one. Crowd wanted a traveling call. They don't get one as Overway leans in, blocked. But Smith's going to be called for the foul. Only the second foul on Smith today. Overway able to get that one to fall. Overway's had a nice night tonight. 17 points for him. 4:35 to go in regulation. Overway's 2 for 2. Smith running the point right now for Indiana Tech. Little backdoor cut, and it's taken away by McGee. McGee slows it down, slips it inside. That's a foul. Climbing over the back was Lehrman, albeit unintentionally. But it is a foul nonetheless. Saints will get a sub in. That's the freshman Nick Henry out of Caledonia, Michigan. Jared Dugner at the free throw line, and his free throw is good. .408 to go. Dugner in and out on the second try. Jeremy Luciano, meanwhile, is back into the game for Indiana Tech. They lob it inside to Lehrman. Luciano looking to back in. Little hook shot wouldn't go. Tipped up and in, and that's Lehrman. Lucas Lehrman is doing some hard work on that offensive glass. Brown Boyd loses it. Foul called. That's on Smith. He was ready to run. He was already in stride. Looked to me, I did hear a fan say that was a good strip. It looked to me like Smith did get him on the arm. Donovan Brown Boyd will shoot the free throws. Brown Boyd long on that first free throw as Smith crashes in for the board. That is Smith's third foul. He looks to attack. Almost threw it away. Davison was there to recover. Lehrman screens for him. Davison the drive. Right into the Red Sea. No good. McGee slows it down. Smith guarding him. McGee around the screen, and that's a foul. Looks to be on Smith as he is trying to figure out what he did. The foul will send Menelito McGee to the free throw line. Well, the last few times the Saints have been to the free throw line, they've struggled to score from the stripe. Jack Luciani, the senior from Marshall, Michigan, is into the game. 0 for 2 from the line that time. This is Corey McKinney. He's one of 2 starters still in the game. Make that 3 starters still in the game for Tech. Grant Smith and Blake Davison are both still in the game. Smith, by the way, now playing with 4 fouls. Luciani one-on-one. McKinney for 3. That's off the mark. And Davison's got it. And Luciani with the 3 there, but it's no good. McKinney chases down the board. And the elongated possession continues, and with that, Ted Albert is going to call a little timeout. Well, while we have a moment, we're going to show you some of Lucas Lehrman's best plays in this one. made the most recent shot. But you'll see on this possession, this was earlier in the second half, I beg your pardon. Warriors going in transition, trying to beat the press. And they do as Rod Stein goes up top to Lehrman. And then Lehrman moments ago cleaning it up on the offensive glass. We'll show that to you on our Summit City Sports replay. First he finds Luciani. Luciani's going to miss his shot, but Lehrman right there to put it back in. And now we've got 2:14 left to go in regulation. And now the Warriors are going to send Brady Thomas in. Connor West, a redshirt freshman, had just come back into the game, but Warriors decide to bring Brady Titus in instead. Lucas Liskey is also in for the Warriors. Titus slows down, gets into the paint. His shot no good. Racing down the floor is Vachon, missed the shot. They throw it down court for Titus. Traveling is the call. And it'll go right back to Aquinas, and now Connor West will come into the game. He's a redshirt freshman out of Sparta, Michigan. .145 left to play as Indiana Tech was up only 3 at halftime, but they now lead it by 19. They have led it by as much as 20. Larson looks inside. Off the hands of Steele Brassfield. Shot clock down to 9. Jumper no good. That was Nick Henry. A foul is called. I beg your pardon, that was off the hands of Bennett Center. Steele Brassfield plays for Tech. Foul is called on Tyler Canfield. And it'll be Hunter Huff going to the line for Aquinas. 1:16 left to go. Couldn't hit the first one. Into the game comes Bronson Sissom. He'll take the place of Andrew Larson. That second one's good. It's an 18-point game. Tyler Canfield gives that one up and eventually work it over to Jeremy Davison, redshirt junior, who's also from Leo, much like Blake Davison. Graduated a couple of classes earlier. Corner three, too strong. Hunter Huff with a rebound for Aquinas, and we're inside the final minute. Pull-up three wouldn't fall. Batted away. That's Ryan Ware for three. It's no good. And Lucas Liskey has the board. A catch-and-shoot three on the other end for Connor West. The redshirt freshman gets himself on the board. Henry into the paint with the left hand, yes. Nick Henry. And the Warriors, all they have to do here is get the ball across the timeline and bleed the clock. And that's exactly what Jeremy Davison will do. Indiana Tech a winner on their home court over Aquinas. They improved their conference record to 4-0, and they're 7-1 overall. Indiana Tech will take on Cornerstone next week. They'll get 8 days off before they do, and then on Wednesday, they take on Cornerstone, who came into today tied with Tech at first in the WAC Conference. Well, our Parkview Sports Medicine players of the game, that's right, we're going to reward two of them. Grant Smith for his 21 points And Lucas Lehrman for his 10 points off the bench. Great performance by both guys, Grant Smith and Lucas Lehrman, your Parkview Sports Medicine players of the game. And that will do it from here at the Schaefer Center. Indiana Tech a winner, 75-56. For my cameraman Connor Hendrickson, this is Thad Goff saying so long. Warriors win it by 19 over Aquinas. You've been watching Warrior basketball on this broadcast brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
I think it's really important for freshmen to realize you get out of college what you put into it. If you dedicate yourself to your classes and to your projects and to what you're doing in college, you're going to have a really great experience here.
I wish someone would have told me my freshman year that it's important to prioritize, knowing what's important, what's not important, knowing opposed to what I want to do.
The two things that I think all freshmen should know is buy a parking permit so you don't rack up a bunch of fines and tickets, and also make sure you go to class, because it seems like a good idea when you're skipping, but then it's not worth it in the end when you fail the test or don't turn in homework.
As an international student, my advice for the freshmen is to not be afraid to make friends, because your friends here will end up being your family away from home.
Anything that you want to do, anything that you want to put on, anything that you want to showcase on campus, you can. There's always people around to help you do what you want to do here.
Make sure that you always take time for yourself to make sure that you're okay, because college can be very overwhelming as far as like schoolwork and friends and sports and just like everyday life. Always just make sure that you get what you need to get done.
It's important to have a relationship with your professors, because you become more personable with them. You start to engage in the material more. They can give you recommendations, especially once you get out of college. You definitely want to put them down as like references, and if you have a better personal relationship, it just makes the whole learning experience go smoothly.